Hey, this is Brett, and this is going to be the final video in our series on Empire Avenue for now. I may do more in the future, depending on the feedback and the questions and the replies we get here on YouTube. But today I want to take a look at how to invest. Now, there are many strategies on how you might invest in Empire Avenue. I'm just going to cover some of the basics to show you the mechanics of it and maybe talk a little bit about some of the theories. To get started, this is the home page. I've just logged in. I'm going to click on the Social Stocks button. And this takes me to a page with a couple different pieces of information. It shows me my share price and some of the details about me. As I scroll down, that is, I get to see some of the trending profiles on Empire Avenue. Now, as we're looking for places to potentially invest, these are kind of the movers and shakers in stocks on any given day. Sometimes these will be the same people. Sometimes these will be brand new people. A lot of times you'll see folks on here that are relatively new to Empire Avenue that are going through a rapid increase in share price as they start from being new, where Empire Avenue has no scores for their activity in social media. If they happen to be a person that's very active in social media, their scores will eventually bounce up, and that will drive their share price and their dividends and much more. So this can be a good place to look to find people that are kind of rising. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to take a look at Tim Linden. His share price is 110.26 EVs for each share. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add 500 shares of this gentleman. And I can see as I type in the quantity, it calculates how much that's going to cost me, 58,435 EVs. And it estimates how many dividends, how much earnings I'll have in dividends from this investment. It looks like it's just about 100 EVs, 98.54 EVs a day for this investment. So if you think about that for a second, I'm investing 58,000 EVs to earn 100 EVs a day, or what's that, 36,500 EVs a year. So it's going to take a year and a half at this current rate before these EVs will pay for this investment. But that's on the gamified platform of Empire Avenue. There's a different way to look at this. I'm investing in Tim as he gets started on Empire Avenue in a way that's kind of like following a person on YouTube, or subscribing to a person on YouTube, or following someone on Twitter, or friending them on Facebook. This is kind of like an initial foray into connecting with someone on Empire Avenue, and you might choose to make additional connections from there. Odds are, if he becomes more active in Empire Avenue, and if he becomes more active in social media in general, his daily dividends will actually increase, and it might pay for this investment in game terms faster. A couple other things. This also shows me my funds available, so I've got about 7 million EVs to play with as I make my investments. And there's a commission that's charged. The commission that I see may be slightly different than what you see. Kind of depends on the account level that you have here. And I'm going to hit the invest button and leave a quick comment. Catching up with the crowd of folks investing in you lately. Keep up the good work. Something like that. I'll post that on his profile. And I could repeat that if I liked with some of the other folks on here. I'm already invested in Gilam. A couple of these look familiar as well. So that's one way that you can invest. Here's another way. Especially if you're new, you might not necessarily be able to afford investing in some of the players that have a large per share stock price. Now, there is definitely an argument to be made for trying to invest in them whatever you can, because they will pay higher dividends and you'll make your investment back in game terms a little faster. But there's another way. Sometimes you can go through here and you can invest in brand new players by looking at who's recently listed. There's a couple ways to get to that. You can hit it from the way that I just did, or you can come in and click on the recent tab. And in this case, I sometimes look for a couple different things. If a player that set up an Empire Avenue account actually adds a profile picture, that's a plus. If they're in the top 10 and their share price is a little higher, that means their scores are coming through a little quicker, or they're jumping into Empire Avenue and being a little bit more active, as opposed to a person whose stock price is a little lower. So for example, Martin 2014 over here doesn't have an image. His share price is at $14.39, even though he is ahead of all these other people in plane. Maybe he's a little lost or confused, or maybe he's going to go nowhere in the game. I don't know. But over here, this DRJ might be Dr. J Manzella. He's already at 20.68. He's got his profile image loaded up. I'm going to take a gamble and I'm going to invest in him a little bit. Now, since he's a brand new player, I can only invest 200 EVs. Now, that's not going to generate a whole lot for me in game terms, but if his share price goes to 100 or 40 or something like that, if it goes to 40, I'll double my EVs in terms of my overall investment. And if it goes higher, I might do even better than that. Here's another new player. I'm going to go ahead and just invest in a couple of these folks that have higher share prices. And I'm going to put a welcome message on this one. I'm going to copy paste this real quick too. So I'm going to copy that, post it, and just point out that when I come over here to invest in Livia, if I try to paste that message and post it, I get a warning message. You've already posted the same comment twice. Do you really want to do that? They don't really want you to do that type of thing. They'd prefer that you make unique comments for each person that you're chiming in on. Now, there's a lot more people that have joined on this, recently, so I can take a look at some more folks. Again, if we're looking at trends, this person over here, he's ahead of everybody else that we've seen so far. His share price is still at 14.8 and doesn't have his picture loaded up. Whereas, as we look at some of the other folks, this gentleman's at 1857 already. We can go a little farther and dig in some more. What I like to see a lot of times is someone whose share price is jumping way ahead already. Kathy Hadley here is in the 20s already, beating out some of her other folks that have already joined about the same time she did. I really like to find somebody that's hit the 30s or the 40s already as they've just signed up. Here's a good example, the Media Queen. Now let's take a look at her real quick just to have some details. So I'm going to invest 200 in her, and let's take a look at her profile. So the scores aren't here, so she's got question marks and ones next to all of her scores, but she does have quite a few accounts already listed. So that's probably one thing that's helping to push up her stock just a bit. She's made some achievements, so she's been active. We can see that she's posted 60 tweets, 3 uploads to Instagram, 22 Facebook posts, etc. So she's kind of active in several of these. Let's take a look at her profile. Let's look at it on Twitter. And let's see, Book Publish 101. She's got 11,000 tweets, about 3,000 followers. A decent sized account. She's relatively active. She joined Twitter in 2009. So odds are she's going to be a relatively good investment, and definitely something to consider. So I'm going to go ahead and follow her there. Actually, I meant to do this before. I'm going to follow her on Twitter as well. She's a new player, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she's new to social media. She's just new to Empire Avenue. And I suspect that this particular investment will pay off in the future. I'm even going to go so far as to recommend this stock. I bet it will do well. So there's one aspect of investing. I want to go into another one. I talked a little bit about dividends before and how they can be important. And I want to take a look at, show you another area. I'm in social stocks. I want to take a look at leaders. The leaders tab. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to choose the option for weekly dividends over here on the right. I want to see who the people are that generate the most dividends within the last week. And I'm in the United States. I want to filter this for the entire world. I want to see all the players worldwide, who makes the biggest dividends or creates the biggest dividends. And I can now see that. I can see the top 8 or 9 or so. There's people, and then there's also businesses. Some people have a business profile on Empire Avenue. And I can see that Stephen Crone, who I've maxed out in, has pays out 4.15 EVs for every share that you invest in. I can see Kamal Banani is just below that at 4.1. I'm going to check and see if I'm maxed out in Kamal yet. and if not, I'm going to try and raise my investment. So here, I'm not maxed out yet. I've only got 1,000 shares, and since he's an Empire Avenue leader, I actually get 8.2 EVEs for every share that I invest in him. So right now, I'm getting 8,000 EVEs per day for my investment of 1,000 shares in Kamal. Let's take a look at maybe investing a little bit more. What if I were to invest 900? That'd be 1.3 million. That would cost me 1.3 million EVEs here as my total cost, and it would earn me a daily dividend of 3,600 EVEs. But that's before the double, so before I get the double dividends for him being an Empire Avenue leader. So in actuality, I would get about 7,200 additional EVEs and dividends for this investment. And I do like to make sure that my dividends are high. I've been meaning to invest some more in Kamal, so I'm going to go ahead and make this investment. Plus 900. Leave him a note. Working hard to match your investment and benefit from your great dividends. Keep up the good work. Post that on his profile, and there you have it. So that's another a bit of strategy. There's a good tip that I read from Michael Todd a while back, and it basically says when you're getting started, go through and for the first month or two, try to invest in these folks the most, the first 10 people on the list. Now, Michael Todd's sort of at the top of the list, so that's potentially a tip that might help the people at the top 10. But these are the people that will pay the higher dividends, and those dividends can be useful later. In a future video series, we'll talk about what you can actually do with the EVEs that you earn, and how this in-game money can help you, benefit or improve some of your social media strategies. So there you have it. If you've got questions, please let me know. I'd love to cover some more. There's lots to cover, and I can only cover so much in each of these videos. But I've enjoyed this series and hope you benefit from this as well, especially if you're like me and you just need a bit of a game to help keep you active in social media and keep things balanced out.